Hey there, spookies. It's October again, and you know what that means.
Well, every October 31st, we mortals dress up in masks.
Oh, no, I understand that inane ritual.
Halloween is a strange holiday. Traditionally being a day to remember the dead, it's now evolved into a celebration of the macabre. Kids go trick-or-treating, people go out and put decorations up, have parties, and some settle in for some scary movies. But what is it about the genre that keeps us coming back for more? Fear is a strong emotion, and one that sits at the core of our being. The jump scare works due to an evolutionary holdover, flinching at the sudden noise or movement the body's reacting to avoid being eaten. In modern society, this is not something we have to worry about anymore. But the idea of that electricity, of your body being tense, your heart in your throat, it's a unique sensation, and it's no wonder we go looking to experience it in our movies. Unlike other genres that have come to prominence and then returned to obscurity, the horror genre has stood the test of time, despite what can only be considered wildly erratic quality. The basic premise of a horror is to scare us. So, by this metric, I would make a strong argument that a lot of modern TV and movie offerings are horrific.
Hi.
But that's a different conversation. It's the ability to stimulate the fight-flight response that keeps us returning. Be it things that go bump in the night, body horror, jumpy movies, or a slow psychological burn. There's just something about peering into the darkness that keeps audiences coming back. It could be the mental or physical stimulation, or the adrenaline rush from being scared, or all the unique and novel experiences of things that don't tend to happen in real life. For some, this can be a social event, bringing them together with loved ones over a shared experience. I tend to find myself in this camp. In general, horror is not my favourite genre, despite it including some of my all-time favourite movies. The ability to sit down with friends, laying out snacks and beers with some good atmospheric movies is just bliss. But how does one pick the perfect lineup of movies for such an evening?
People, prepare to have your spines tingled and your gooses bumped by the terrifying Fantasia.
There is a lot to consider. How many movies? What kind of feel are you going for? And what's the play order? Starting with time frame, 2 to 3 movies is the sweet spot.
Nice.
Depending on the length of the movie and the time frame that you're working with. Assuming that we're going to go with a 3-part extravaganza, you need to consider the atmosphere of the whole evening. Is it going to be wall-to-wall shockfest? Something psychological and thought-provoking? Or perhaps something that incorporates other genres like sci-fi horror? Personally, I like to start the evening with something light-hearted, perhaps even borderline family-friendly. Comedy horrors or light-hearted Halloween movies are a great way to start the party. And here's a few examples. Hocus Pocus is the quintessential Halloween movie. It's set in Salem and on All Hallows Eve, and it's about 3 witches come back from the dead and they have one night to secure their new lives. It's light, campy fun with a few darker moments.
Talking about 3 ancient hags versus the 20th century. How bad can it be?
Beetlejuice is about a couple that were murdered by a dog and relegated to haunting their own home when a metropolitan family move in. Wanting rid of the new owners, they enlist the help of Beetlejuice, expertly played by Michael Keaton. This wacky comedy is a strangely gothic fever dream, and some of Tim Burton's best work.
Showtime.
The Addams Family, the cult remake of the original Addams Family, is nothing short of a delight. The loose plot evolves around a criminal that looks uncannily like Gomez's long-lost brother Fester, impersonating him to get to the Addams Family vault. All I can say about this is relationship goals. Moving to movie number 2. This could be the main event and your chance to show off your horror chops. Your main horror can be anything from the classics to maybe modern movies, genre benders, or even the dark and macabre. For my 3 suggestions, let's start with Alien. It had to be on here after I just completed analysis on this sci-fi horror classic. It should need no introduction, so I'm just going to leave this review from Twitter or X or whatever. Black Swan is a dark psychological thriller about a ballerina losing her grip on reality as she's pushed to the brink by a rival. It's not your classic horror fare, but it's disturbing as it is excellent. The Ring is about a journalist investigating a mysterious videotape that leads to the death of anyone that watches it a week after they do so. This is a mystery thriller with a great plot and deeply creepy moments. Moving on to our final choices for the 3rd and final film of your evening, I feel that it's good to have a palate cleanser. Still within the horror genre, while being witty and with some B-movie vibes. So with that in mind, first up is Jennifer's Body. This is about a possessed cheerleader turned succubus that's killing off her male classmates. This was a box office bomb that garnered a cult status. Despite being a teen boy's wet dream, the film has also gained a broad appeal among the feminist and LGBT community.
Jennifer's evil.
I know.
No, I mean, she's actually evil. Not high school evil.
Cabin in the Woods follows a group of teens as they go into a cabin in the woods, where they are set upon by zombies. This is a deconstruction and look at the horror genre, poking fun at the tropes while retaining many of the things that make up the horror movie. I highly recommend it, and as a small plug, recommend watching my video breakdown of the movie once you have seen it.
We should split up.
Yeah, good idea.
Really?
Finally, Dog Soldiers is about a squad on a military exercise while out in the Scottish wilderness, when they come across a more formidable foe. This is another movie that has reached cult status, and for good reason. Good old-fashioned British wit combined with some silly antics makes this a fun excursion.
Terry, while you're at it, stick the kettle on. Could all do with a brew.
So there you have it, my idea of a great night in for Halloween. But I'm always down for suggestions. What would be your 3 movies for Halloween? Put them in the comments below.